Now, we've touched on most of the elements related to today's current communion celebration, the Last Supper and the original Passover. The last bits we want to cover are how it affects us, who should partake in communion, and how should it be done. Let's talk about the how first. There are no guidelines in the Bible for how to do communion. We have some examples. The Last Supper directs us to eat bread and drink wine. There is a liturgy, an order. We eat first, understanding it represents the body of Jesus. Then we drink, understanding it represents the blood poured out for us at the cross. But there's nothing specified about how the bread should be taken. Does each person have their own wafer, or does the entire congregation pass around a loaf? It doesn't matter. In the Bible, the drink is called the fruit of the vine. Obviously, it was wine, but that doesn't cut out grape juice. The only care we need to take is not to get super cutesy with it. This year at Easter will be the first time in Christian history that probably most communions taken will be taken at home through a service online. Not everyone has access to wine or grape juice for the occasion. God knows that. But we probably don't want to take the moment lightly by making Easter bunny pancakes for our bread and pink milk for our wine. Let's have some reverence. There is also nothing in the New Testament about how frequently we should do it. Some churches do it every week, believing we should honor its value. Some churches do it quarterly or monthly or yearly in order to not become callous to its importance. The important part about the how is the way we approach it mentally. We are to remember what Christ did for us. We're not channeling, we're not listening, we're not doing nothing. We are remembering. Also, we are to search ourselves. Just as the Jewish family searched their homes for leaven, we must search our hearts for anything that keeps us from honoring God. And we are participating. When the Jewish people eat the Passover meal, they don't simply thank God for saving their ancestors. They thank God for saving them. Even today, they participate in the salvation that happened thousands of years ago. In that same way, we share in that first communion, the one we call the Last Supper. We were there when Jesus was hung on that cross. This isn't only about what happened in the past. It is also about what is happening right now all around us and in us. We are to participate in God's plan. And last, who should take communion? Paul writes in 1 Corinthians that only believers in right standing with God should share in the communion. The word communion signifies a unity with Christ. If you're not a believer in Jesus Christ as your personal Lord and Savior, you are not in unity with Him. And eating the bread and drinking the juice show an acceptance of the sacrifice. You can't symbolize that acceptance if you're not willing to do it in your heart. This also means that a believer who is not unrepentant regarding his own sin should not participate. A Christian must examine his life and take seriously what it means to follow Jesus. Having a hardened heart to the things of the Lord prevents you from having unity with Him. If this unexpected quiet time at home has brought to an examination of your life with Christ to you, I pray for you to follow hard after what God has for you. And I advise you to connect with a local church and a pastor and a body of believers. And I pray this Easter season is a time of revival all over the world. Thank you for watching.